Kolkata. Founded in 1686 by the British merchant Job Charnock, the city was established when the British moved down the river from the trading port in Hooghly. Kolkata is remarkable for its historical and cultural heritage. Kolkata's vibrant past is evident in the stately buildings and monuments which are scattered throughout the city and remind us of its rich colonial heritage. Contrasted with this is the present-day Kolkata of multiplexes, designer stores, restaurants and parks designed for the cosmopolitan citizens. Indeed, Kolkata remains the city of joy. Not far from the city of joy lives a different Kolkata, a Kolkata that tells the story of poverty, adversity and negligence, of rights denied and dreams shattered. In the shadow of the new developments lives a marginalized and voiceless community, a community that lives scattered throughout the city, denied the basic rights such as proper food, clothing, housing, education, medical and social services. In a desperate urge to move forward, we have left them sadly behind, ignoring the fact that they have every right to live in this society as we do. Realizing the importance of their existence, ASRA, the NGO for women and children, education and healthcare, is trying to put in their little efforts to bring a change to this condition.
ASRA is a social welfare organization. Apart from other social activities, it is principally formulated to dedicate its services to improve the quality of life and meet the needs of poverty-stricken women and children without education and health, especially in the rural areas of West Bengal, without any discriminations of caste, creed and religion. What ASRA is actually trying to do is, we are now stressing on the needs of women and children so that we can develop our society where women and children are concerned. We have a medical camps in Topsia where we can help the needy women to develop their medical needs, to let them know what actually they do need to do for having a good health, so that in future they can also be a good guide for the children and their families. The children who are also in need of health, they do come to our medical camps there in Topsia, where each day we are giving them medical aids, and we also have medical camps every year, at least 2 or 3 medical camps, so that we can help these children and women to give them medical aids as well as medical facilities. And we are trying to develop literacy, education. We are trying to also improve career and job counseling. We are trying to improve in vocational training as well, giving vocational training to the women who need, so that they can help their family and in turn the society as well.
Empowered woman is perhaps, in my view, a woman who has an equal say in matters pertaining to the family. She has a say. She can decide whether she wants to get married or whether she wants to remain single. She is not to be married off against her wishes to a man she does not like or she would not like to get married to. She has the right to decide whether she would work, whether she would
কোনো
not
জায়গা
work.
থেকে আসবে না, কোনো লাইট এসে তাদের মধ্যে ঢুকে গিয়ে তাদের কিন্তু কিছু বুঝিয়ে দেবে না। এইভাবে বাস্তব চেতনা দিয়ে তাদের বলে দিতে হবে, তুমি এইখানে থাকো, এই তোমার আছে, এটা তুমি করতে পারো, এইভাবে তুমি তোমার জীবনকে আরো উন্নত জীবনের দিকে নিয়ে যেতে পারো।
রাইট টু ইনফরমেশন অ্যাক্ট এসেছে এবং আমি মনে করি এটা মহিলাদের জীবনে খুব ক্রুশিয়াল, কারণ মেয়েদের জীবনে খুব কমনলি আমরা দেখি যে অনেকগুলো অত্যাচার হয় একদম ইনফরমেশনের অভাবের জন্য। আমি নিজে খুব অনেকদিন এইচআইভি নিয়ে কাজ করেছি এবং সেইখানে মেয়েদের এইচআইভি হওয়ার একটা বড় কারণ এবং তার কোনো সিমটম রেকগনাইজ না করতে পারার একটা বড় কারণ হচ্ছে যে তাদের কাছে কিন্তু সেই ইনফরমেশন পৌঁছয়নি। আমরা বড় বড় হোর্ডিংয়ে বুলাদিকে দেখে যাচ্ছি, কিন্তু এটা মনে রাখতে হবে যে নিরক্ষর একটি মেয়ে যার কাছে একদম স্বাস্থ্য ব্যবস্থার মানে ন্যূনতম অধিকারটুকু নেই, সে কে বা বুলাদি আর কি বা এইচআইভি এইডস মানে সে কি বা বুঝবে। তো ইনফরমেশন এখানে কিন্তু অলমোস্ট একটা মানে লাইফ সেভিং ডিভাইসের মতো, শুধু অধিকার নয়, মানে বাঁচার অধিকারের সঙ্গে সেটা লিঙ্ক হয়ে যায়।
আমরা যখন ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং পড়তে গিয়েছিলাম তখন আমাদের ক্লাসে ছিল there were 36 boys and there were only 4 girls in the class. তো কোনোদিন কোনো এক প্রফেসর বললেন যে না ফ্যাক্ট রিমেন্স যে আমরা প্রত্যেকেই কম্পিটিটিভ এক্সামস দিয়ে যেভাবে লোকে যায় সেভাবেই গেছিলাম। তো ওয়ান ডে ওয়ান অফ দ্য প্রফেসর সেড, এই তোমরা পড়ে একটা ছেলের সিট নষ্ট করেছো। I was amazed যে আমি পড়ে কি করে সিটটা নষ্ট করলাম, বিকজ যে পায়নি সে তো পরীক্ষা নিশ্চয়ই দিয়েছিল। কারণ এটা তো হতে পারে না যে আমরা 40 জনের ক্লাসে ঠিক 40 জন ছেলে মেয়ে পরীক্ষা দিয়েছিলাম, নিশ্চয়ই কেউ কমপ্লিট করে পায়নি, বিকজ রিমেইনিং 36 বয়েজ মেড ইট। তো আমি নষ্ট কি করে করলাম? আমার পড়াটা কি পড়া নয়? প্রত্যেককে জাগতে হবে, এভরিওয়ান শুড ওয়েক আপ ফ্রম স্লিপ। প্রত্যেককে দেখতে হবে তার পাশে কি হচ্ছে, আমি নিজে কি করছি, আমার নিজের বাড়ির মেয়েটি কি সেই অধিকারটা পাচ্ছে যেটা তার পাওয়া উচিত।
Still now, women are considered to be properties of men, maybe at a young age of the father, at the middle age of the husband, and later on that of the son. Out of the women in the age group of 15 to 49, almost 1/3 had experienced physical violence, and 1 in 10 had experienced sexual violence. And generally, if we find 35% of women, they have faced either physical or sexual violence in that age group of 15 to 49, which I think is some kind of a shame for any society.
Make the phenomenon of domestic violence across the board condemnable, make people realize that it's something that ought to be condemned. We need to create awareness, particularly in our administration, our machinery, that is likely to give relief for the law, for the victims. We need to sensitize our judiciary. We need to create spaces, shelters, very difficult. Cities like Bombay and Delhi, virtually impossible to create spaces where women can actually think of spending a few hours to reflect on what they do next. Otherwise, they have no option. They only think of a natal family, which is a no-go.
About 2 weeks ago, we were filling up our class 12 board exam registration forms. And 2 boys came to me and said, "Ma'am, I would not like my father's name to be on my registration form." I said, "But your father's names were there in the class 10 registration form, and you don't want it in the class 12 registration form. It might cause complications later on if in your mark sheet you first have father and mother and then you have just the mother for no reason." I said, "No, ma'am, my mother faced domestic violence. They are separated now. I will just not tolerate this nonsense. I don't want him to as a father." And this shows the repercussions it can have even on the children.
Domestic violence for a very long time has been an invisible crime. It has been invisible because those who are the victims of this crime, to some extent, have internalized the values of the patriarchal society which causes the crime. You see, unless the victim becomes a part of the system of oppression does not work. And when we say that women are enemies, the worst enemies of women, or things like that, we should always remember the amount of ideological burden that a woman has to bear right from her birth, which makes her a kind of an upholder of the same system that is oppressing her. And this is why the crime has been invisible for a very long time.
I, as a designer, I have many women artisans who are working under me, and they are also, they are also subject to this kind of domestic violence at home, many of them. This kind of domestic violence, I think I was going through the net and I saw that there are 4 different kinds of domestic violence mainly. The first one is against women, which we have been talking about. Second, I think, against the children. Third, against the elderly women, the elderly couple, or the grandfather and grandmothers who are staying with us. And the last one is against men.
But the fact remains, even as I am speaking to you, somebody is being raped. Some bride is being thrown out of her home. Somebody is being tortured. Somebody is being asked for more dowry. Somebody is being killed. And this doesn't apply just to women. This applies to children as well.
নারীর স্বাধীনতা বলতে সে শিক্ষিত হবেন, ইকোনমিক্যালি স্বাধীন হবে। শিক্ষা তো অবশ্যই জরুরি, তার সঙ্গে ইকোনমিক্যাল স্বাধীনতাটা ভীষণ প্রয়োজন, না হলে একটা মেয়ে কোনোদিন স্বাধীন হতে পারে না। সেটাই কিন্তু নারীর প্রগতি নয় যে আমি আমার ড্রেসে আমি সিগারেট খেলাম, আমি ভীষণ ভালো ড্রেস করলাম, মডার্ন ড্রেস, সেটা কিন্তু মডার্নিজম নয়, আধুনিকতা নয়, ভুল কথা, সেটা কিন্তু পরাধীনতারই নামান্তর।
My name's Anne. I'm from the United States. I was fortunate enough to go to college and right at the beginning of the women's movement in the United States, and I was fortunate enough to become a PhD in physics, and I've had a wonderful career, and I am completely for education and empowerment of women. This is my daughter, and this is my grandson. I'm here in Calcutta with my daughter because she's a physician, and she's doing some teaching here, and I'm taking care of the baby while she's working. Women can do a lot if we're given the chance. Kate.
Hello, I'm Kate. What more can I say after that? Women's empowerment starts with, in my experience, it starts in the home. So it starts with my mother, who is an amazing role model. She's a PhD. She's an empowered woman. Now I'm a physician. I'm working with many women here in Kolkata who are physicians working in emergency medicine, women and men too.
In every country, we have chief ministers. We have, recently in Thailand, we had the Prime Minister as a woman. In India, we have our President as a woman. In West Bengal, we have our very own Mamata Banerjee, who is a woman. So how can one say that women are far, far inferior than men? We are not. So how do people say that, okay, you're a woman, you will be given less opportunities than that has been given to a man?
If we trace back, if we reel back to the 60s and the 80s, we would find women just confined to sitting at home and cooking. But now, in this current year of 2011, we find women more liberated. They are going out, they are partying, they are working late nights, they are educating themselves further. They are entering into areas like stock market, acting, photography, designing. These were all unheard of, few years back. So, they are getting a lot of exposure and their talent is coming out. And we see that in many areas, men actually cannot work without the hand of a woman. As they say, a man's success is incomplete without a woman standing behind him. So, women is really needed. Positioning them in society, giving them equity in status, positioning them in work area is very important, because the more we empower women, only then will the country rise in the form of the youngsters too. So the topic does hold true value, and I completely do agree that women should be empowered. Being a woman, I'm too chauvinistic about it. So here's to women empowerment. Cheers. The journey of Asra is yet not over, as women and children are still in need of help. But we cannot achieve this dream alone. We need your help. Come, join us. We can make a better world together. In the words of Tagore,
where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where the world has not been broken up into fragments, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. My Father, let my country awake.